That's good coffee from a Jawa mug. Hello again there, you tuners. What do I call you? What do you want me to call you, sport? I'll call you anything you want. I'm not calling you that. Don't ever ask me to call you that again. Alright guys, well welcome back to another video. As you can see here, we are in the BrunerTuner headquarters, although Taylor would probably tell you that BrunerTuner headquarters is now located in Virginia Beach, which, yeah, I don't know. I think we're still Texas-based, Taylor. I'm sorry. My brother got me this awesome sign, by the way, for my birthday. I am officially an old man. I am 30, so if you feel old like I do, here's to you. Guys, if you follow our Instagram and Discord, like you know you should, you would have seen that we are going racing in 2023. That's right. BrunerTuner is going to hit the track again. So we didn't get to go last year. I actually did no track time, which was a huge disappointment. So that definitely means I didn't attend Gridlife in 2022, which sucks because I've been going since 2018. But apparently it's getting a little more exclusive to influencers. So I had a hard time finding tickets even if I wanted to go. But that being said, we are going to go. We're going to do 4 different events this year. Again, that is 1 times 4. Write that down if you must. First, we'll be at Carolina Motorsports Park here at the end of March. Then we're going to head up to Michigan over in New Haven. I think it's New Haven. It's New Haven or South Haven. I always forget. Maybe it's South Haven. Yeah, I think it's South Haven. And then following that, we are actually going to go up to Kansas, up to Heartland Motorsports Park. And then last, definitely not least, are you hanging on? I want to see you hanging on. You in the back, buckle up. We are going to Gridlife Laguna Seca. How cool is that? This is the first time they've offered that, and we are going to go do it. I cannot believe that I'm saying I'm going to go drive at Laguna Seca. If you're a fellow gearhead, race car enthusiast, whatever, you'll know that Laguna Seca is an incredibly historic track and very storied. I can't actually express how excited I am to go finally race at Laguna Seca. How cool is that? So with that being said, there's a lot of things that we actually need to do on this road to this season. So if you've been paying attention closely to the channel, you'll notice I have 9 cars right now, which is something in its own. That's a discussion for later. However, you're probably wondering which car is it going to be? And 350Z it is. So I want a redemption of this car. We blew it up at Gridlife in 2021 out in Colorado, and I was never really happy with the way that settled because the car did great throughout the weekend, but that motor that was in there, it was an old, tired, abused one, and we knew before going into that it looked like it had bearing damage thanks to an oil analysis. So tons of upgrades. We fixed it, we built it better, and I want to get out there and prove that we can hustle this thing. So the Z it is. But we have plenty of things that we need to do before we go out to this first event. And we even have some exciting stuff that we're going to put on the car for this season. So stay tuned for that because it's going to be really fun. Secondly, we need to get prepared to drive these tracks. The only one that I'm familiar with is actually Laguna Seca, which of course you probably could have guessed. I've played tons of it in Gran Turismo and other racing games throughout the years. So those other 3, Carolina Motorsports Park, Heartland, and then Gingerman, I have no idea. So I want to get familiarized with those. I have a sim setup. I have a PC. I have a PS5. We can do this. We can download that. So without any further hesitation, let's jump in there and see what we can find out so we can finally get some practice on these tracks. Okay, so it looks here like there is a version of the course available to Assetto Corsa through this website Race Department. So we're going to log in here and download this and install it to our game. Okay, now that I have that downloaded, I'm going to move this zip folder over into the tracks folder in Assetto Corsa's game files, and then I am going to extract those files. Okay, and with that done, let's see if we can't go play it. This has my 350Z into Pikes Peak International Raceway. It's the last time I used this game actually. Let's see if we can't find this. Ah, look at that. There we go. Awesome. Let's try this out. Just make sure that it fires up okay. I'm a hacker. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Well, it looks like it started up here. I couldn't really control anything without messing with the settings, but let's go ahead and move this over to the sim and try it out. Okay guys, after about an hour and a half of messing with the setup, I finally got it to work. The wheel wasn't one to work with the game, so I had to download some drivers and then mess with a few other things, and even still it wasn't recognizing it. I finally got it to work. I don't truly know what I did, but that's PC gaming for you sometimes. But with that being said, let's go ahead and drive this track. I can't get my shifter working, so that's unfortunate. I wish I could, because I'd really like to have that. But let's go ahead and just get familiarized with this track. I've not even watched any videos on it, so this should be interesting. Oh, this is going to be a fast track. What do you say we throw the VR headset on, try it out that way? Throw out my dinner that I had. Okay, I'm in the floorboard. Hey, look, I got a face. Here we go. I'm gonna not burn out of the pits. Try not to cross that blend line. Don't go too fast over this crest. Oh. Make sure you got some heat in the tires too. I think I'm getting the layout. Ooh. Brake a little bit. All right. Ooh. That's about all the nausea I can take. Can't be doing that anymore. So from there, what I'm going to do is continue to just practice this over the course of the next 2 weeks and watch some videos of people driving the track on YouTube and just kind of getting used to it and familiarized. That way, when I get to the track, I'll have a decent idea of what I'm doing. Yeehaw! Wasn't planning on having a toothpick in my mouth for this, but I just found an unopened one in the car, so makes me look like a real down south racer. Make sure you heard that right. Anyways, here we are with the Z. So now that we have kind of our track prep digitally done here, we are now going to real life prep here with the car. So we're going to change out things like brakes, and then I have a new belt. It's actually a new setup entirely that removes an old pulley that can be bypassed. It's like a newer Z setup, so that might free up a little bit of power. I also have this carbon intake that I'm going to throw on. I'm actually going to put the old bumper for this car on because it's all beat up and I can sacrifice it. I don't want to do that to the new freshly painted one. And then I'm going to install that carbon intake onto the old bumper itself because I don't really like the way that it looks for a street car. And then also, BrunerTuner has landed a tire partnership this year. Not a sponsorship, maybe someday. The great folk down at Tire Streets have accepted us into their drivers program. So we have their Accelera 651 Sports. That is a 200 treadwear tire, and I've heard pretty good things about them. The best thing being that they are a great all-round budget option. These come in at probably half the price of the Hankook RS4s that I'm running on here, and so we're going to give these a go this year. I've never used them. I'm hopeful about them. The company's been awesome to work with, so I'm really stoked to try these out. Without any further hesitation, put this toothpick back in my mouth. Well, let's crank this hog. Oh, also oil change. VR1 Valvoline synthetic. Good stuff going in. as well knock this out while we're down here in the area. Replace this with some good stuff. Be good. So the third major thing that we need to prep for is the tow rig itself. We want to make sure that all the tire pressures are good and the lug nuts are torqued down. And then we need to load this thing up for the long journey. I'm going to be asking a lot of this truck this year as we travel to multiple states. So let's make sure this thing is running optimally. Now that we know the Tundra is all set to go, we'll go ahead and load up all the supplies that are needed, throw the car in the trailer, and begin the long journey out to South Carolina from Texas. Alright, we're stopped over here in Monroe, Louisiana. Armpit of nowhere. And got a hotel. We're going to try to get about 5 hours of sleep here and then hit the road. Everything is going according to plan though. Sucking down a good probably 10 mpg, so living that Tundra life still, baby. The impression that I get from a lot of people is that I'm pretty nuts for driving this far out to these events and traveling with the car on a trailer, towing it all with my truck. But an added benefit to this whole trip is that I get to see so much of the different United States that it's been really awesome. And personally, I don't mind spending the time alone and getting out there and just exploring and having the best time that I can. Creeping up to the paddock. We made it. We made it. That's actually not 9:30, it's 10:30 and they close the gates at 11. And immediately an S2000 sighting. This is going to be a good weekend. One last mod that I needed to do to the 350Z was go ahead and do the bumper delete. This is called the forceful bumper delete. I don't recommend this method unless you're a professional, in this case, professional U-Haul trailer user. Now that we made it though, it was time to get what rest we could and get prepped for the early morning. So I'm going to run these at 27 psi each. We're going to start there and see what they climb to. I'm unfamiliar with this tire and I haven't looked them up yet in a hurry. But we're going to start with 27 all around and go from there. Alright guys, I have been scrambling around this morning. Missed that first session. Just trying to get everything done. We got in late last night and I was just already beat and set everything up and had to do tech this morning and everything, so hopefully this is going to go well. These are brand new tires, so that's important. We've got to be careful with those because they could be a bit like glass when we're out there. There's going to be no grip at first, so we need to put some heat into these things, probably heat cycle them, find out what the ideal, operating pressure is at for these. But I'm looking forward to it, so thank you again to Tire Streets for accepting us into their driver program. This is going to be pretty fun. Alright, we got to be a little careful out here. Brand new tires, brand new brakes. Got to bend these suckers in. Could be a double apex here, double apex. Okay, looks like you have a double apex hairpin there. Currently in the pits because two cars need to be recovered, so came back, got a check engine light that came on, but I believe that should still just be for the O2 sensor, but we're going to go ahead and check that out. If I have the connector in there. Oh. Felt like I hit power cut at one point, but everything's fine, so I don't know. Tires heat cycled and the brakes bed in. The car seemed like it was running fine, other than the occasional hiccup, which we'll get to later. But for now the car was feeling good, so let's go ahead and chase down this Subaru WRX. guys, we've got to figure out this this power cut deal. I'm not positive what's going on here. I have a check engine light, but that's for the O2 sensors. Don't tell the EPA about that one. So I'm not sure if that if there's actually another issue and that's why it's on or what. So we're gonna go ahead and read the codes and see what we can find out real quick and go from there. Could also potentially be a fueling issue. Friend over here, Jacob, who I met through the Speed Academy Discord. Shout out to you, Jacob. Loaned me his little ECU connector here because mine wasn't working. And he also suggested that maybe this saddled fuel tank is causing a fuel starve issue. So we're gonna check that out and see what the deal is. All right, found another 350Z owner here named Niche. I've actually met him before over at Gridlife South in Road Atlanta years ago. And let me borrow this, and we found 2 codes. Return this. If you're unfamiliar with racing, problems are just part of the equation. That's seriously how it goes so often. As you'll see, I only ended up getting the 1 session in there and ended up with about a 207, which is incredibly slow, but we were also warming the car up, getting the brakes and tires up to par, and figuring out the problems that we had. So let's see if we can't drop that down tomorrow. Looks like the class leader in street rear-wheel drive is Niche, the guy that lent us a tool, and he's doing a 147, so we've got a massive 20-second gap at the moment. All right, guys. We are in the morning of day 2 here, and I'm going to try to catch you up to speed. I was running around too much yesterday and didn't really get a chance to film near as much as I wanted to. I only got 1 session yesterday, and even that session was cut short by 2 cars that had had some kind of failure and had to be towed off track. And then my car was also breaking up, as we saw yesterday. We think that's fuel related. I say we. I'm talking to a few people around here, including one of my friends that I actually just met in person from the Speed Academy Discord, which is really cool. His name is Jacob. Great guy. But we think it's because it's a saddled fuel tank and the fuel pump is struggling to get fuel. That's a pretty common issue with that setup. So filled it up, and we're going to see if we do any better today. I missed that first session because I was running late. I had to, go do tech inspection and everything, and I still had to put on my rear brakes and all the stickers. It's just been a hectic week trying to get out here, so I'm a little disappointed. And then they changed the run group order, which is a little frustrating. So I missed the 3rd session, so I've only got the 1. But today, weather is going to be a little inclement. It looks like we're expecting some rain, so that's going to be interesting. I'm interested to see how these 200 tread wear tires, these Acceleras do out there. Hopefully they have enough like siping in the tires to actually, evacuate some of that water. They look like they would probably be pretty decent at that. So there we go. We're up to speed. Got some rain coming in. With the fuel cut issue figured out, the car felt absolutely dialed on this second morning. It was time to go chase down those lap times. With the car running great and good conditions, it was time to go head down and try to set the best lap time. my god, that was awesome! That was so good! Yes! Oh, this car is amazing! I gotta find a little more front end grip. Wow. That first session today was awesome. As you can tell by that in-car footage, I was really having a good time and really pushing the car. So we cut off 12 seconds from yesterday, and the car ran perfectly this time. No more of that fuel cut issue. Turns out you just got to add gas to the tank. Who would have thought? So yeah, we did a 152 this morning, down from a 204 yesterday. That puts us within about 7 seconds of the class leader for street rear-wheel drive, which is a 370Z. Feels like the car, I need to dial in the front pressures a little bit more, find a little bit more grip. But yeah, the car's doing great and I'm having a good time. It is currently raining and there's some thunder, so everything is delayed a bit, but still a good time out here. With the rain having arrived, conditions were fully wet on the track now. After a while, I realized I wasn't going to set down any kind of fast lap time, so I decided to just have fun with it and put on a bit of a show. With the weekend officially over, it was time to pack everything up and begin the journey home. One of my favorite things at these events is getting to meet different people that are really helpful and open-minded and always willing to lend a hand. Just like this guy who I needed to help me spot the car as I got it on the trailer, since it was so low that I wanted to catch and drag.
I didn't hear it straight. Drive it again.
Alrighty guys, well that is a wrap on Gridlife South 2023. This is a super fun track and one that I had never heard of until Gridlife, but I'm glad I got to come out here and experience it. It's fun and challenging without being overly dangerous. There's a lot of runoff and you just never feel really unsafe out here. I do have some regrets. I missed out. I missed out on filming some stuff. I was just running around trying to essentially just get set up and have fun and try to relax and enjoy myself a bit. And then my GoPro was dead on the last session out. I didn't realize it until I got out there, but ended up setting a 150 on that. So that was great. 2 seconds off of yesterday's time. I'm confident we could have gone a couple seconds faster, given a little bit more time. But anyways, had an awesome time out here. Met some wonderful folks. Jacob, John, Bree, Kevin. Who else? If I forgot anyone, I'm sorry, but yeah. Let's go ahead and get this trip started home. It is real cold outside and I slept in the truck because I got here so late, but I see fluid in there. These have changed the color. They're now like a burnt orange.